Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So today we're going to jump in with more percentage, continuing on with our Chapter 6 material, working on percent change. So first we'll talk about some quick check problems. So just a little review of what we've been working on for the last couple days. So we've been talking about how do we calculate all these different percents. So 24 is what percent of 80? So that means we would write 24 over 80 equals percent over 100, and we would calculate that out. So we want to know what is 24% of, or what percent, right, would be 24 over 80. So 24 divided by 80 times 100 means P is equal to 30%. All right, question number 2, 39 is 52% of what number? So now we're looking for a different value. So 39 over x equals 52 over 100. Remember, we do our cross multiplication, so I kind of jumped past that step on the first one, but we're going to do 3900, right? 39 times 100 equals 52x, and then we'll divide both sides by 52, and we're going to get an answer of 75. So divide, 75 is equal to x. So our answer here is 75. And then our last question says find 26.3% of 135. So y over 135 equals 26.3 over 100. And then we cross multiply as well on this one. So same kind of idea here. So we'll do y times 100 and 26.3 times 135. Which gives me, I'm working out on my calculator, 3,550.5 is equal to 100y, and then we'll divide it by 100 to give us y equaling 35.505. And we don't know what to round it to, so we'll just put our full answer this time. Okie dokie, so now we're going to move on to our new material for today. So what are we going to learn today? It is how to find the percent, increase and decrease. So when things increase or decrease, what did they increase by, or what percent did they decrease by? So reminders, just don't forget, always, every day, do your attendance form, right? You will be marked absent if you don't do your attendance form. Okie dokie, so we'll go through this problem together. Find the percent change from 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Then state whether the percent change is an increase or a decrease. So first thing we need to do is we need to subtract to find the amount of change. So first, before we can figure out the percent, we need to know how much it changed by. So if we went from 60 degrees up to 84 degrees, we didn't know how much did we change by. So we can subtract 84 minus 60 to get, that's kind of how much we changed by, right? So 84 minus 60 is going to give me an answer of 24. So this was the amount of change. That's actual how many degrees we changed, right? So 24 was the amount of change. And then we're going to set up our ratio. So percent change equals the amount of change over the original amount. So the amount of change, that's what we just calculated, 24, comes from that bottom, or the step above there, and then the original amount is what we started with. So we started at 60. So 60 is going to go right here. So original amount, right, is 60. So that's where that 60 comes in. And then, right, fraction just means division, so we're just going to divide, which gives me 0.4. And then we know to make a percent, we just multiply times 100, so that's going to give me 40%. So that's our final answer, and then we just want to remember to answer the question. So we want to know what was it an increase or a decrease. So we could say the temperature increased, right? We went up. We just look at our problem to figure out if we increased or decreased. 60 to 84 is an increase, right? We went up. So we increased, the temperature increased by 40%. So that would be our final answer. All right, moving on. So now let's practice another example. Find the percent change from 20 students to 24 students. So step 1, we need to find the amount of change. So we're going to use subtraction. So 24 minus 20 gives me a change of 4 students. So that's our change. And then step 2, we do amount of change over original amount. So the amount of change is what we just calculated for, over what we started with. We started with 20, and then we just used division. So 4 divided by 20 gives me 0.2. And then step 3 is just convert that into a percentage. So 0.2 times 100 is going to give me 20%. And then our last piece is we want to answer our question. So the students, and then did we increase or decrease? 20 up to 24 is an increase. So students increased by 20%. All right. One more example, and then we'll talk about something else. So McKenna had 318 stamps. Now she has 273 stamps. Find the percent of change. So first step 1, find the amount of change. So we just subtract 273 minus 318, which gives me a negative number, right? 273 minus 318 is going to be negative 45. That just tells me it's going to be a decrease. I don't need to worry about this negative for the rest of the problem, though. We know our amount of change, even if it went up or down, it's still 45. So 45 is our amount of change. So that's going to be our top number. And then our starting number, so we always want to start with 318, right? So be careful that you make sure you use your starting number, right? Since this one was decreasing this time, we started with a bigger number and went down to a smaller number. So 45 divided by 318 is a big long decimal. So we get 0.1415, ... But I look at my problem and it says round to the nearest tenth. So that means I only want one number after my decimal. So I can multiply this times 100 first. So I multiply by 100, so it's into a percent now. And I'm going to get 14.1509, ... And we're going to round that to the nearest tenth. 5 means we're going to round up, so we're going to get 14.2%. And again, we want to answer our questions. So McKenna's stamps decreased by 14.2%. And that would be your final answer. All right, I'll leave this, okay, we'll leave with just this last question. This would be normally kind of our exit ticket here, but we'll just do it together, and then your job will be to complete the assignment, and you'll be done for today. So suppose 4 desks are removed from a classroom with 30 desks. What is the percent decrease? So it says 4 desks are removed. So we kind of think about, we know we're going to be decreasing, right? It also says what is the percent decrease from the classroom with 30 desks. So we know we started with 30 desks, so 30 is going to be our starting amount. And instead of having to calculate the amount of change, we're actually told the amount of change, right? It's 4. They're telling us we're removing 4. So 4 divided by 30 gives me 0.133 repeating, and then we'll multiply it times 100 to get to a percent. So 13.3% decrease. And we round to the nearest tenth in this one too, even though it didn't tell us to. All right, so now your job is to complete your assignment for today, and that's it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.